Hi friends, thank you for being patient with me while I recover from some knee strain that I've had recently. So earlier this weekend, I helped a friend who had a flooded basement carry out some things that got wet, and as a result, I used a lot of forward strength and energy in my body, particularly in my upper body, in addition to my glutes going up and down stairs. So I thought today might be kind of nice if you've been doing a lot of hauling or gardening or any other activity that uses a lot of upper body strength on the front line. Today we'll stretch some of that out. I'll show you some poses and some tools that you can use to recover from anything that might cause strengthening, we'll call it, in the biceps and the pectoral muscles in particular. So I would advise that you have a strap handy because we will use it to work through the shoulder joints, the deltoids, everything else that's good and crunchy in there. But other than that, just make sure you have your normal props that you like to have for practice, and we'll get started. So as always, I like to start with seated meditation. And today I'm going to sit up on some blocks because my knees are still a little tender. So I could sit and talk folded up like that for just a minute, but now I have to put some space in my knee joint. So this is a really nice option if you have sensitive knees like me, where you can lift up the body just a little bit. So I'm actually going to sit up really high today. See that? Up on the highest height. So whatever suits you, it's fine. Let's see if this feels good. I think so. So I'm getting a little bit of a stretch through my knees, but it's not bad. So if you feel more comfortable in a chair or sitting with your legs extended, know that those are always options too. Every day is a practice of listening to our body and finding a way to meet it in the middle. So take a couple breaths here. You can relax your shoulders. If you'd like, you can close your eyes. And just notice how your breath is moving today. Notice how your heart is beating today. And then notice the general level of tension in your body today. Just to start out with. And then as we slowly increase the length of our inhales and our exhales, we can begin to increase our breath and smooth out the edges. Noticing if you're accumulating tension anywhere, particularly in the shoulder joint. Try to let that settle all the way down. Checking in with your pelvis, making sure it's not tipping too far forwards or too far back. And the same goes for the spine, that it's not leaning forwards out of the pelvis or leaning back, but right in the middle. Sitting up nice and tall. Couple more breaths here. If your mind wanders off, just bring it back to this moment in this place. Alright, so when you're ready, you can slowly open the eyes. Take your arms, reach them up overhead, interlace the fingers, turn the palms face up, and reach up towards the sky. Feel the shoulders dropping down the back, low ribs coming in. And then from here, we'll take the hands and drop them over to the right, feeling a stretch through the side of the torso. Nice and easy. Inhale up through center. Exhale over to the left. Inhale up through center. Exhale to the right one more time. Inhale up through center. Exhale to the left. And then we'll inhale through center. Release the arms. Shake them out. And we'll roll through the shoulders, nice and easy, trying to find all the sticky spots. So notice where your shoulders don't want to roll quite so easily. And then reverse directions if you haven't already. Wonderful. So I'm going to remove the blocks that I'm sitting on. So I'm going to come down onto my mat. But if you're already there, you don't need to. And I'm just going to extend my legs because my knees aren't tolerating that much bending lately. So if you want to sit crisscross applesauce, that's fine. So this is another option for you. And it gives you a little bit of hip opening and some space to move. So we'll take a big inhale, reach open with the the left arm over to the right hand side. And so we're trying to keep both sits bones down on the mat and giving us a big stretch through here. So we're opening up through the side body. And then inhale up, exhale over. So we're just deepening the stretch that we already started. Inhale up by doing one arm at a time. Exhale over. Inhale up, exhale over. Wonderful. Inhale up, and then we'll exhale over one more time. Now from here, bend the elbow, turn the palm face up and away from you. And then exhale, bring the elbow down towards your knee. Inhale and come up. Exhale and twist. Inhale and come up. Exhale and twist. One more. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Stay here for one round of breath all the way in, all the way out. And then walk the hands forward. So you'll notice we're opening up the side body so that we get it out of the way and we can really focus on opening up through the chest, feeling the collarbone spreading. So we'll walk our hands up so we're sitting up nice and tall and do the other side. So this time right arm reaches up and over to the left. And then we're going to bend the elbow, turn the palm face up and away from us. And then exhale, bend the elbow and bring it towards our knee. So the elbow stays bent the whole time. Inhale and open. And feel a spreading between the two collarbones here. Exhale and close. Now feel the compression between the two. So we're noticing how our front line is moving. Inhale and open. Exhale as close, as well as how your shoulder blade is moving across your back. Inhale and open, because if that gets stuck, that can cause trouble too. Exhale and close. One more. Inhale and open. Exhale and close. And we'll stay here for a moment, all the way in, all the way out. And we'll walk the hands in front of us and come into a soft forward fold once again. Release the back of your neck. Soften your face. Then we'll inhale and come up and grab your strap. So, you can stay seated just as you are. Or if you want to pick something a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more stable, that's fine too. I'm going to stay seated the way I am. So, we're going to work on finding space in between the shoulder blades. This is in turn going to open up across the front of our back. The front of our chest, excuse me. So, we're going to take our strap and hold it open about our own shoulder length, shoulder width apart, maybe a little bit more, so maybe one hand width more. So we're going to start here, and we're going to inhale, reach up, and allow our shoulders and our hands to drop behind us as much as possible without popping out the ribs. So you'll see I can release my ribs here or hold them in so my back is nice and straight the whole time. And then we'll release. We'll do that 2 more times at that width. Inhale and come up. Just noticing where your edge is. We're not necessarily trying to push past it, just identifying it. Exhale and come down. One more. Inhale and up. Maybe you'll notice you're starting to get a little bit more room. Exhale and come down. All right, now from here, we're going to open our hand and slide it so that there's one hand width more in between our 2 grips. So then from here, we'll inhale, reach up. Maybe we find a little bit more space. And back. One more at that width. Inhale up. Feel your shoulder blades starting to come together behind you. Exhale and back. So now we're going to open up a little bit more. So what's key is we're keeping both hands level and they're going back at the same rate. So you can do this if you have like a dowel. You can do that too, or the handle of a broom, that works. Just something that's going to keep your hands steady and even, and they both come back at the same rate. So we're not trying to pop one shoulder back and then the other. One more there. Nice and slow today. And release, open up another hand width. Give that a try. Ooh, I'm pretty close. But I think it's a little tight, so I don't want to pop back yet. So we're just going to open up, do the same thing at that width, and release. And we're going to open the hand width one more time, and then inhale up, and then maybe at some point exhaling back. So you can keep going if you're not there yet, opening up another hand width. But once you find your spot where it's easy for the arms to glide back and forth, we're going to exhale, come forwards. Inhale, lift up over the head. So when you're here, you're at the top of your inhale, and then we exhale back down behind us. Inhale up over the top of the head. Exhale back down. So do a couple of those, moving with your breath. Just finding space, nice and slow. One more. Excellent. All right, so now we'll release. Roll through the shoulders. Notice how they're starting to feel here. And then we'll give them a break because we've done quite a bit with them so far today. So we'll drop our shoulders down, and this time we're going to work with our wrists. So we're going to press the hands together. And then you want to keep yours up and high. I'm just going to drop my hands down so you can see. So you want to keep your hands here. I'm going to show you. We're going to open the book towards us. And then we're going to bring the backs of the hands together, fingertips drop down towards the floor, rotate all the way around, and close the book. Open the book facing you, drop your fingers down, rolling through the wrists, and close. Open the book facing you, drop your wrists, and close. One more, open facing you, drop the wrists, and close. And we'll do the other direction. So this time, open the book away from you, drop the fingertips down, roll across the backs of the hands, and close. Open the book away from you, drop the fingers down, roll through and close. Open, drop the fingers down, and close. One more, open, drop the fingers down, roll through, and close. All right, so we can shake all that out, roll through the shoulders. We're gonna give ourselves a little bit more of a wrist stretch here. So we're gonna come on to hands and knees, and we're going to leave our hands where they are, which is normal, fingertips pointing forwards, and we're gonna lean forwards just a little bit, testing the weight there, and lean back, okay? Lean forwards, testing your weight, finding pressure through all of the palm, all of the fingers, including the thumb, and back. One more, leaning forwards, and back. All right, so this time we're going to take the fingers, turn them outside, and see if you can bring the heel of the hand back down. So you can do both at the same time, or just do one hand and then the other. And so any rotation here, any rotation outwards, as much as you can do, if it's only just rotating out a little bit, whatever your spacing is, we just want to find that. So I'm going to turn both my hands backwards because I can sustain both of that, but you can do one hand at a time. And so now this time, instead of leaning forwards, we're going to bend the elbows a little bit, and maybe that's your stretch right here. And you can lean forwards to alleviate the stretch, or maybe just lean back a little bit to get a little bit more of a stretch. Lean forwards to release. Lean back to engage. This is really great for computer work. Lean forwards to release. Lean back to engage. One more, lean forwards to release. Back to engage. And forward to release. Fabulous. So you could do one hand and then the other. Then we're going to take our hands and we're going to turn them palm face up. So this one you can do the same thing, one hand at a time or both. I might do one hand at a time. So I'm going to do 2 on each hand instead of 4 on both. So we're going to take the palm, turn it face up, and try and press the whole back of the hand down on the mat. So same thing here. We can either lean forwards to release or lean back to get a little bit of a stretch. You might not have to go very far. I don't have to go very far today. We'll lean forwards to release. Lean back to stretch. So if you're using 2 hands individually, you can release. If your wrist gets a little overstressed here, you can always curl the fingers under to keep the wrist straight. So now this time, my palm's going to turn up. And I'm going to lean back, find a stretch. Lean forwards, release. Lean back, find a stretch. Lean forwards, and release. So you can do that as many times as you wish, equally on both sides. Maybe you want to do 1 or 2 more times, and one or the other. And then we're going to switch tactics, and we're going to find a little bit of a stretch across the front of the chest as we start to wind down here. So, if you're familiar with thread the needle, that's closing the chest. This time we're going to open the chest. So instead of taking the arm and bringing it up and underneath us, we're going to bring it out to the side. So it's almost the same exact pose. except I'm going to lay down for it. You can choose to stay up on your knees, but I like the reclining, or I should say the prone version better. So what we're going to do here is I'll show you, I'll show you my left side first, but you can choose one and then the other, doesn't matter. So I'm going to take my left arm and extend it out to the side directly from my shoulder joint. So it's not any higher or lower. My right hand is going to be right underneath my shoulder. And so from here, what we're going to do is press into my right hand that's right underneath my right shoulder and slowly roll onto my left side. Now, right foot's going to come behind me and either be up on my toes or put the whole sole of the foot down on the floor. Your head can rest on your side, but we're just trying to roll the chest open while our arm is behind us so we can get a stretch across the chest. Across the front of the arm. And you can adjust your arm behind you either up or down to find the exact right spot. I wasn't quite feeling anything. Moved my hand up just the tiniest bit and now I feel a lot. So we're just trying to get into a position that gives us a little bit of a stretch. And so maybe you only come up with the shoulder a little bit. Like today, I can feel this is so tight. Normally I can roll way more open than this, but it's not the right position for me today. So, staying nice and open. Right hand is here to support the weight of my torso. Right foot is behind me to support the weight of my lower half. I'm just taking a couple breaths here. This is almost like a yin yoga pose where we're holding it and letting the pose unfold for us. And then when you're ready, we'll inhale and release, coming back to center. And then we're going to do the other side. So this time, right arm is going to extend directly out to the side, or your second arm, whatever that happens to be. Left hand is going to come right underneath the left shoulder. We're going to bend the left knee so the foot is ready to catch us behind us. And then when you're ready, we'll roll the weight open just a little bit. If you need support for your head, you can put the edge of a rolled up blanket or a block underneath it. But you should just relax it so there's no strain on the neck. Just support it in whatever way it needs to be supported so it's not floating. Take a couple deep breaths here. Notice what kind of stretch you're feeling. If you're getting tingles, it means you're stretching a nerve, which isn't necessarily bad. We want to be careful to not overstretch it. If you're just feeling normal stretching sensations, it means you're stretching muscle body. Remember, we never want to feel pinching or burning, so if that's happening, you want to ease up a little bit. Inhale, come back to center. Release and stretch. You can bring both hands back beside you, palm face up, and relax for just a moment here. And then when you're ready, we're going to come into a reclined Shavasana. So we're going to come up and off our stomachs. If it's comfortable for you, you can come back into child's pose. Take a moment here. And for me, my child's pose is modified due to my knee strain. So my butt's staying up nice and high, but I'm still getting the benefits of a little bit of an inversion and a closing off of my front line. Alright, so we'll inhale and come up. So, final resting pose, Shavasana. Well, first we'll do forward fold. So we'll inhale, reach up, exhale, come forwards, just to softly fold in all the energy that we've started to work out, opening up the front of our chest. So now we're gonna take a moment, pay homage, close the chest up. We haven't done any work with our legs, so this will be pretty tight. So we're just imagining we're forward folding here at this point. Alright, so then when we're ready, we're going to sit up nice and tall, and I'm going to take a block and put it underneath me. So if you know traditional supported fish, you can do that. If you have a softer variation that you prefer, you can do that too. If you want to use a bolster behind you or a rolled up blanket, that's a really nice option too. I'm going to use a block, but I'm going to use it on the lowest height, and I'm going to put it right behind the top of my chest here. So I'm not doing it vertically today. I'm putting it horizontally because I want a softer level of support. Normally we do the middle, up the middle of the back and on the middle height. Today I'm choosing low. So we're going to bring it, I'm going to have it line up so it's right behind my manubrium, the space where your sternum comes together in the front. And then I'm going to relax back, head coming down to the floor. So if your head floats, make sure you're putting either another block or some other thing to lift it up so it feels supported. And then opening the shoulders and the arms to the sides. Arms can be open with palms face up. They can be alongside the body, palms face down. My purpose today, I want to get some lift through my chest. So I'm going to open and allow the shoulders to drop down towards the floor, however they want, and lift up through the chest. Deep breaths in and out. So at any point, if this becomes too intense or you'd like to just relax, you can take the block out from underneath you and relax down into a traditional Shavasana. Or you can stay here as long as you like. Here for just a couple more breaths, working to release tension wherever you find it. Of course, you are always welcome to stay here as long as you wish. But if you'd like to end with me, you still have your prop underneath you. You're going to bring your hands up underneath your head and slowly work towards sitting. If you have no prop underneath you, you'll simply roll off to one side, doesn't matter which, and take your time. So waiting for your blood pressure to come back to normal before working your way back up to seated. closing together. So I hope that this adds more tools to your toolbox, helps you open up across your chest and feel like you can breathe better. So as always, thank you very much for practicing with me today. Take care. Namaste.